prepping these wet ribs for the second course of the hors d'oeuvres. They're fully smoked and seasoned with a special recipe that I came up with from my hometown of Sweet Springs, Missouri. And I also made the barbecue sauce from scratch, and it has tamarind paste in it. It's inspired by sinigang, my favorite Filipino soup. Now the thing about ribs, I'll tell you, is that you hear about people saying, you got to try this recipe, these ribs fall off the bone. And if they say that, you don't want to go anywhere near them, because that means you got to be eating meat jello, right? Meat shouldn't be like that. Meat should be nice and tender, flaky. It should tear off nicely. There should be a clean bone, but it shouldn't fall apart in your hands. So help yourself. I hope you enjoy it. And try not to mess up your white pants and your cool shirts and stuff like that. Growing up, we had a big family. And my mom cooked a lot of Filipino food. She makes the best fried pio. Yeah, tapsilog. She makes champorado that's, you know, really, really good. The Filipino food that I ate growing up, I definitely took for granted, because when I finally moved away from my parents' house, I was stuck without it, you know? And that also inspired me to learn how to cook it, because I couldn't buy it in Boston. Boston didn't have any Filipino restaurants at that time. So I am self-learned. We're all self-learned, right? We've taught ourselves how to cook because we enjoy doing it, the same way a photographer would eventually become really good at photography because they're really into it. They do it every day, they practice. Listen, I spent a lot of time. This is what I do in my free time. These are my best friends, right? These guys I'm cooking with, Rob and Alistair, are my best friends. When you're with your best friend and you hang out and you do what you want, we don't like to ride dirt bikes or, you know, go smoke cigars. We get together, we like to cook. This is something we do for fun. And none of them are trained chefs either. We just have all these crazy ideas, and we want to be able to participate in the New York restaurant scene without having to invest in opening a restaurant. Without a doubt, I was in Batangas, right? And my mom and my aunt just bought property at Kota Kilawaga. And I was sitting on the beach. It was a beautiful beach. We're in a cabana, and there's a guy in a snorkel and swim fins who's walking up the beach with a bamboo, and he has fish of different sizes and colors, all strung across this bamboo, this long, and the thing's bending. There's so much fish, and he comes up, and he starts talking to us. He says, "Would you like to buy some fish?" I said, "Yes, we would." We bought all that fish whole, 20 kilos of fish for like, what is it? I don't know how many pesos. 2,000 pesos. It was like 20 bucks. That was the best meal I had. Just seasoned salt. These have already been braised for an hour in lemongrass, star anise. There's a lot more meat on the ham hock than there is on the trotter, but there's a lot more skin on the trotter, so I like to mix it up a bit. And this is a little easier to present than, you know, a couple of these things. Just like, I think this is as caveman as you can get, right? All right, I'm gonna bring this in. You can get close, it's not gonna splatter. So when that's done, it'll be floating at the top. So I'm gonna put 4 more in. Yeah. Crispy pata. The skin is nice. It's almost like it'll be a fried pork steak with skin and hock, and we're gonna serve it with suka. It's gonna be killer. it started focused on Filipino food, but we've kind of spiraled out from there, and always including it, of course, crispy pata. I have a lot of restaurant friends, and they're stressed out, and they work all these weird hours. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that, but I do enjoy doing stuff like this. I like to be very inventive, right? That's the main thing. We never repeat any dish that we've made here because it's a one of a kind, which is part of the experience. So we don't cook short ribs every time. We don't do, you know, we don't chicken cordon bleu every time. We like to reinvent it. Any of these dishes that were made tonight, we'll never do them again. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm mature enough as a chef to accept the responsibility of feeding 75 to 100 people every night. You know, I want to do it right. I don't just want to do it. I want to do it right if that time comes.